everyone. How's everybody doing today? I hope the sun is shining wherever you are. And I just wanted to jump on really quick today just to talk about the energies again. It's just a topic of continuous conversations in the kind of conscious community, the spiritual community, people who are doing energy work. And the chat I want to have today is in regards of the intensities that we're receiving by way of solar flares and the CMEs, the intensities of the frequencies that we are receiving from the sun are really time spiraling at the moment. And so the reason I wanted to just talk about this quickly is because this is just the most perfect time to really do your work, your inner work, your healing, your energy releases, really tapping into your shadow work, because what we're experiencing with all of these intensities, and with each storm that we have, the intensity builds. And there's a lot of, I'm not a scientist and I don't profess to be an expert in this field at all, but I am I'm not going to say I'm an expert in the field of energy mechanics either, because how can any of us be in the grand scheme of things? But it is my field and it is my art, so I do know, a little bit. But I tend to tap more into how I'm feeling. I'm very intuitive in my body, and feeling the energies as they work through me, as the energies are accreted through my bodies, through my fields, and how these shifts intensify my own shifts and my own processes. And so as I teach all of this kind of work, what I'm receiving feedback from my clients, both the clients who come to me for the Akashic readings and healings, and also the clients on the training programs, that every single person is experiencing such intense shifts at the moment by doing this work right now, because of the frequency accretions that we're experiencing through these intense plasma energies that we are receiving at the moment by way of the solar storms. So most of you are aware that we all have our own individualized electromagnetic frequency, and we are all connected to the electromagnetic frequency of the earth grids, the templates within the earth, and the templates that make up our light body systems are the same templates. Everything's connected. So as these solar storms affect the Earth's electromagnetic field, then of course ultimately this is received by us, because we are generally, you could call us walking portals. We are receivers and transmitters. We're receivers of light, we're transmitters of light, we're receivers of universal intelligence, and we're transmitters of this intelligence. We receive and emit information from within our environment. We're constantly receiving by way of our senses. And so some people can't quite grasp how these frequencies from the sun are affecting us and how they can be affecting us, and the importance of really embodying these frequencies right now, because what they are doing is they are helping with our own individual DNA accretion, and so it is a beautiful time to really be present with your energy and just allow yourself to receive these frequencies and not to resist them. and it can get really intense. And I don't know, some of the symptoms that I've been experiencing as really prickly skin. I've been coming out in my pitta is elevated. I know some of you who follow the Ayurvedic path will be aware of the different constitutions that make up our body, our doshas, the pitta, kapha, vata. So my pitta's been super elevated this last few weeks as a result of these frequencies, pitta being heat. And of course I live in a humid climate, being in Thailand as well, so it's intensified out here. We are closer to the equator as well. But yeah, we can really be feeling this by way of heat in the body, skin irritation, prickly skin, maybe breakouts in the skin, eczema and psoriasis being stimulated, and also receiving really or experiencing very strange symptoms within the head. So I had an experience a few weeks ago where I had this, I can only describe it as some kind of pineal activation, or maybe a pituitary activation. You know, the pineal pituitary connected to the crown and the third eye chakras. And it was like I had this kaleidoscope. I literally went blind, and I just had this kaleidoscope experience going on in my head. And it really scared me at first, because I really thought, that's it, I'm blind, I can't see anything. And I somehow managed to stumble my way to my bed. I was in the living room when it happened, and it started in one eye, and then it extended into both eyes. So yeah, again, my initial reaction was to resist, because as I say, it scared me. And so I've kind of got this, I guess it's a trauma response from fear of not being able to see, just from a trauma that I experienced as a child. And yeah, it triggered this trauma response. But initially I understood after a few minutes, when I kind of talked myself round, that it was some kind of activation. So yeah, I managed to make my way to my bed, and I just laid down and surrendered to the process. And yeah, it was like rainbow colours just spiralling around inside my head, in my vision. And I guess some of you may remember, some of you may be too young, you may not have had this, but yeah, when we were children, we had these, it's like a binocular with a kaleidoscope, and you used to turn it round, and it was on the outside. It was like one of these virtual reality machines that they have right now, but it was a manual, and you used to turn it, and then you'd just have this kaleidoscope. So it was like this, but it was really some kind of another reality that I was experiencing. And so yeah, I surrendered to it. But when I closed my eyes, I laid down and closed my eyes, and it intensified. I was thinking that if I closed my eyes, it would ease, but no, it intensified. And I was having this real strange vibrations in my head and ringing in my ears, and yeah, it was pretty scary, but also really super magical at the same time. But eventually it stopped. But after this, days after this, I really started to receive a lot of downloads. I was having a lot of, I'd been switched on or plugged in to some extreme intergalactic parallel, and I was just receiving all this information that in the end, which was amazing. It was just amazing to receive all this stuff, and I couldn't write it down fast enough. But yeah, after some time I had to ask, to turn it off, because it was overloading me. So again, coming back to my point is to really, a lot of us are experiencing these intense symptoms. Everybody's experiencing them differently, because as our frequency is accreting, and our DNA is accreting due to these frequencies, due to these plasma downloads that we're receiving from the sun, everybody's going to receive it differently, and they're going to experience different activations. So I've also experienced convulsions, like little mini convulsions, sometimes in my solar plexus, sometimes in my sacral, sometimes in my heart. My body just goes into some spasm. And again, I'm really aware of what it is, so I just go with it and I just lie down in presence and receive, okay guys, hit me. I'm here, I'm ready. Just, give me whatever you've got. Because ultimately it's helping to shift our DNA, to activate more strands of our DNA where they have previously, our DNA has previously been distorted by the interferences from the external matrix sources, the kind of control matrix. And I know a lot of people are cognitively disillusioned by a lot of this, or should I say, so people can't get their head around what the dark forces actually are capable of, because it really does create such cognitive dissonance. But this has been happening for decades. I could just do a workshop on this alone, on all of the things that have happened over the years, and the technology that we have now to interfere with our inner templates, our light body templates. They can shift the plates in the earth, they can shift the poles, they can move and interfere with weather systems and the ocean systems. So why can people not get their head around the fact that they can create these distortions within us? So the majority of the collective have had their DNA interfered with, corrupted, distorted, and people are functioning on a 2 and 3 strand DNA template, whereas previously our template was 12 strand. And so this was basically our multidimensional anatomy. So what we're receiving now, what's happening now with these plasma frequencies, is that it's helping this frequency accretion, this DNA accretion. And so it is helping to activate our higher strand DNA. So as a result of this, our bodies may not physically be prepared, especially with all the toxins that we consume from the environment, and also the rubbish that we're eating in these fast-paced societies. So the physical body's not actually prepared, and kind of struggles to integrate these energies, to receive, to embody these activations, so the body can kind of go into a little bit of some kind of shock. But again, when we lay down and surrender to it, and we just create this space within ourselves, we open ourselves to receiving these upgrades, these activations, these accretions, then we can allow this to take place with a little bit more ease and grace. And also we can choose at any time to turn down the frequencies, connect to your higher self and ask your higher self, ask your creator energy, because we are all universal co-creators. You can ask for the energies to be turned down a notch, so that you're not actually receiving too much for your body at this time. Just take this into consideration, that if it gets too much for your body, because again, people can have real physical reactions and purge, go into purging toxins as well, because ultimately it is purging toxins as we're activating chakras. And it's not just that we're activating chakras, we're activating the layers, multidimensional layers within our chakras. And we are clearing layers and levels of our history throughout our timelines, our lifetimes, all the layers of stories, experiences, energies, emotions, everything that we've experienced is a multi-layered process, and so we're holding all these layers in different parallels, different fractals of our body, of our energy systems as well. You know, we're holding a lot of this within our blueprint, our soul blueprint, our energetic blueprint. And so the energetic blueprint is shifting, and my work is all about bringing people back to their original gold print, you know, the gold print from Golden Atlantis, from Lemuria, bringing ourselves back into these high 5th dimensional, 6th dimensional, 7th dimensional frequencies that most of us have experienced in these previous lifetimes. So yeah, we're helping, it's all helping to bring us back into this gold print activation. But yeah, in order to do this, we need to shed all of the old baggage, let go of all the old stuff. So again, coming back to my point at the very beginning, this is a really beautiful time to do all this work, to do it. You know, it is bringing up a lot of trauma for people, a lot of fears, a lot of darkness, a lot of shadow stuff, but this is the perfect time to do this work, really. This year is really the perfect time, because there's going to be some huge shifts next year. You know, we're coming into an apparent timeline split next year. So yeah, this what we're experiencing now is the catalyst for this. So yeah, it's going to be about making a choice in which timeline that you are going to choose. You know, the Ascension timeline, the awakening timeline, the higher frequency timeline, the Accretion timeline, or are you going to stay where you are in limitation? So I will finish by saying the other thing that I've been experiencing as a result of these plasma frequencies, these higher light quotients, is also time speeding up as well, because again, each time we experience a solar flare, these ejections, these solar ejections, are also speeding up time. You know, again, it's moving the electromagnetics. It's, you know, we're continuously shifting, the Earth's shifting, and so we are experiencing timeline shifts, timeline speeding up, acceleration, and suddenly the days are merging into the nights, and the nights into the days, and it's Monday, then it's Friday. And again, I talked about this in my last energy update, but a lot of people have been saying the same, like, it's Thursday already, I literally don't know where this week's gone, and it's almost the end of April, and it's in a blink of an eye, it's going to be Christmas again. So really make the most of all of this, what's going on, and really making the most of, I've gone through a very, very, very dark month. Like, I've come through the other side of it over the last few weeks, but yeah, I went through in March through a very dark process for 3 weeks. But again, it was an accumulation of what I've been manifesting, working on releasing on a physical level the traumas that I've been previously working on for many years, energetically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And so I've been manifesting since 2018 to work, to release and shift on a physical level and bring my body back into a regulation. And yeah, this has been all of this current timeline has been party to going into this. And so I've not been very active with my videos, and but yeah, I've come through the other side now, and I've got my energy back, and yeah, I released a lot of stuff. I will do another video on this, because it's a really interesting, very powerful story that I think will resonate with a lot of people. But yeah, I'll do that another day. So thanks for listening, and if you are called to work with me, then just drop me a message. Again, the feedback from my clients over this last few months has been the people who've been doing the readings and the healings, and we've been working on the light body reconfiguration, helping their body to integrate, you know, these frequencies, these new frequencies, and clearing out all of the old millennial baggage, or should I say the baggage that we've been holding for millennia, you know, from previous lifetimes and from our childhood, and it's people have been experiencing such profound shifts. So yeah, it is a really great time to do this work. And if you're called to join my training program, there's one spot left on my Akashic Record training, which starts next weekend on the 30th of April. So yeah, DM me if you're interested in having a chat about that. Other than that, I'll see you all on the other side, and drop me a like or a comment if you resonate with this information today, if you enjoyed watching my little vlog. And yeah, look forward to speaking to you all soon. Sending love from Thailand. I'm gonna head down to the beach now and have a sunset walk in nature. So ciao for now, lots of love.